Hey, welcome back to my channel. Do you want to know if you're an Enneagram 4? Have you taken the test before but are still unsure? Or maybe you have a family member, friend, client that you're wondering if they're a type 4. Well, stick around because I'm going to be revealing what it's like to be a type 4. And make sure to watch till the very end because I'm going to share one characteristic that just may surprise you. Hi, I'm Tyler Zock, pastor, Enneagram coach, author of the 40-day Gospel for Enneagram Devotional series, and your personal guide to helping you transform your life, relationships, and workplace by giving you spot-on truths for your type. So keep watching if you want to feel seen, understood, and challenged to let go of the things that are keeping you stuck in your professional and personal life. And make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss more free content coming up next week. Now, let's get to it. Type 4s are called the individualist, or sometimes the romantic. Because I have a 4-wing, I prefer that. They have a fear of being inadequate, emotionally cut off, plain, mundane, flawed, or without significance. Their desires to be unique, special, and their authentic self. They focus on what's missing. Oftentimes, it feels like their life is a puzzle, and that they're missing that last piece. Have you ever built a whole puzzle and then realized at the very end you're missing that one last piece? Well, that's how 4s feel all the time. They feel like they're missing a piece. They're lacking something from being whole or complete. So their idol can be unique, being unique. One of the worst things you can say to a type 4 is, hey, I met somebody today that looked exactly like you, or that reminded me exactly of you, right? They don't like that because they like being unique. They avoid ordinariness and blending in. They don't like the ordinary. They don't like things as usual. They want to do things that are special and unique. Their vice is envy. As you remember, they feel like they're missing a piece, and that somebody else has that missing piece that they need to feel whole and complete. So that naturally leads them to feel envious. They feel like something is just fundamentally missing within them, causing them to think that others possess the qualities that they lack. And so they miss out on the many blessings in their own lives because of this. And their virtue is equanimity, right? Equanimity of feelings. Having balance, emotional balance in their life, rather than having feelings just flying around like a pinball machine. 4s tend to express themselves in very creative ways, oftentimes in very poetic ways. Poetry or metaphors are often something they use to go to, things that help describe beautiful and deep things that are too complicated for mere words. And so that leads to their strength of just inspiring others to cultivate a passion for depth and meaning. 4s do not like being shallow on the surface. They love depth and they love things that are meaningful. They are the deep sea divers of the human soul who love returning to the surface to share what they found. I love that. Having a 4-wing myself, that really resonates with me. Just being a deep sea diver that goes into the human soul, understands the human soul, finds things that are meaningful, insightful, and then returning to the surface to share what we have found. 4s love melancholy playlists. This is something that a lot of 4s share. Again, having a 4-wing myself, I love going to Spotify and listening to dark classical music. There's just something about the minor notes or songs in minor keys that just feel deep. They tug at your soul in very powerful ways. And one of the things that type 4s say a lot is that there's happiness of being sad, right? The happiness of being sad. That's one of the mottos of a type 4. Another thing that 4s say is they feel like misunderstood misfits, or misunderstood misfits. They oftentimes feel so complex and have all of these things to share or put out in creative ways, and that people just don't get them. They feel like they're almost too complex to be understood, and therefore feel like they're on the outside looking in and feel like a misfit. Fours are a kaleidoscope of emotions. I love that illustration, a kaleidoscope of emotions. But sometimes fours get stuck in them and can't get out of their emotions. And so they need to bring in objectivity into their decision making rather than just being led by their feelings. Fours can be melodramatic with their feelings or suffer by stuffing them deep inside. The self-pres, which is one of the subtypes of fours, you can't see their emotions, you can't see the way they're suffering, but they put their head down and just grind away and almost find a sense of being special and unique by the ways that they're suffering, but not complaining and whining. And oftentimes have a smile on their face. And these fours can oftentimes look like sevens. But the majority of fours are more melodramatic with their feelings. They wear their feelings on their sleeve, and you can sense and feel their feelings. Fours finding it annoying when people try to cheer them up. Again, they like depth. They like their feelings. They're okay with being melancholy. And so if you try to cheer a four up, it can be really annoying to them. It can be a pet peeve. Fours tend to pull people in and then push them away when they get nervous. The push and pull dynamic is one of the things that's kind of unique to a four. They can tend to, when they're angry or in a fight, tend to push people away and then get nervous that there's going to be a disconnection, and so then they try to pull them back in. So this push and pull dynamic is something that a lot of fours say they struggle with. But fours, more than any other type, deal with shame. Right? They have this defense mechanism called introjection. And so if a father or an authority figure says that you are bad, then automatically the four's self-critical voice kicks in and says, I am bad. They quickly swallow whole the criticism or the negative emotions of others toward them and beat themselves up and have this negative voice within their head that just leads to a lot of shame and lacking self-esteem. Fours are more introspective than most people, and so a lot of times people will tell four, you're a very self-aware person. It's because they are very in tune with their feelings and always seek to do a deep dive into why things are the way they are and why they're feeling the way they're feeling. So they naturally just gravitate towards understanding their feelings, and even dark emotions and dark feelings that other people run from. Fours will cling on to those things, even if they're hard, to try to figure out what's going on. Fours have, or at least thought about, writing a memoir. I mean, I kind of say that jokingly, but I know a lot of fours who have written a memoir. Fours oftentimes see the world through their own lens, and so they'll use I, me, refer to themselves in the third person because they're always looking at life through their own lens. And so they want to tell the story of how they experience the world. And so one of the ways that manifests itself is through memoirs and sharing stories about how they're experiencing the world. Fours worry that their emotions will be too much for others. So oftentimes fours have already shown their emotions, expressed their emotions, and got blank looks from people. And they've had that happen multiple times. And so they've gotten used to people sort of looking at them funny or not embracing them, not asking follow-up questions. And so fours are often thinking, man, am I too much? Are my emotions and who I am going to be too much for others? Are they going to run away from me because of who I am or how I express myself? Fours feel like they never truly belong in social groups. And so on a Christmas morning, for example, even though they're in the room, they're opening presents with their family, type 4 kids will feel like they're on the outside of the house looking through the window at everyone else opening their presents. So fours oftentimes feel like fours may be in the room with other people or around a conference table, but not really feel like they're there or a part of the group and that they truly belong with that group. Fours sometimes feel flawed, like they came with missing parts or manufactured defects. Whereas other people are more self-confident or more self-assured, fours just naturally feel like they are broken and that they are not complete or whole. And so fours, like we mentioned before, are prone to negative self-talk and oftentimes will beat themselves up before they allow other people to beat them up. So self-esteem is something that fours need to work on. Fours believe that suffering has meaning. This is a beautiful thing about fours. They believe that suffering has a purpose, that suffering has a meaning. And so they're okay with embracing suffering and writing about suffering or writing songs about suffering. And oftentimes that ministers to us and blesses us because when we go through those seasons, they've already gone through it and have written about it, written songs about it, journal about it, and can help us walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Fours place a high value on authenticity in themselves and others. It's actually a pet peeve if other people are fake and shallow. They love being authentic. They can't do work that's not authentic to who they are and what they value. Fours can be overly sensitive or moody. When the fours start getting stressed, they get overly sensitive to people's comments. They may run from feedback, not accept feedback, or just get kind of moody with the way things are, or maybe disillusioned with the way things are. Fours find themselves either nostalgic about the past or disappointed with the past. Fours are more past-oriented, whereas 3s, 7s, and 8s, for example, are future-oriented. So fours just naturally gravitate towards the past. And think about ways they missed the mark in the past, like disappointed with their past relationships or family upbringing, or they can be very nostalgic about it and want to go back to the past and romanticize the past. Fours long for a partner or a romanticized idea that's unavailable to them. Right? This is huge. And it's almost like there's juice in the longing. Right? Fours love to muse and ruminate on having something that they don't have. Right, having that romantic partner that they can't get. But this is my favorite, that fours say, the world is always going to be bad, but at least I can make good art about it. So they can take negative experiences from the past or trauma and pain and make art out of it, write a book out of it, write a memoir out of it to help other people. So that's one of the gifts of fours, is being able to take something hard or bad and turn it into something poetic, artistic, or beautiful. Now, I shared that there's going to be one characteristic that just may surprise you about fours. And here it is. The fours are often stereotyped as the self-absorbed artists. But fours are so compassionate and so empathetic toward the underdog in society or those who are suffering in society. And so they're not just that emo type, wearing, black clothes, listening to records. Right? That can be a stereotype. But fours are compassionate, empathetic, and so they can be great counselors and sounding boards to people who are going through hardship. Okay, so I love that about fours. All right, here's my advice to fours. Put a note card on the bathroom mirror that says, "Nothing is missing." This is advice from Ian Cron. Right? A note card that says, "Nothing is missing," to remind yourself that you are perfect and complete. You're lacking in nothing. You're beautiful. You have gifts. You have talents. You have strengths. That nothing is missing, and that nothing is missing in your life. And to see the good things that God has put in your life, and therefore to appreciate those things and have contentment, and to move forward with your day with thanksgiving. So did this video help you? Did it help you know if you are a type 4? And if so, why? Leave a comment below. I would love to chat with you. And if you want to learn more, I've actually written a book called The Gospel for Individualists, a 40-day devotional for type 4s that will take you deeper into these topics. And so go get that book from Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below. And if you loved this content, make sure to hit the like button again. It helps YouTube to share this with other people who are like you, wanting to learn more. But thank you for watching. I'm here to help you reach your God-given potential and avoid burnout, breakups, and other blow-ups that are all too common for your type. And so whether you are a seasoned Enneagram coach, whether you're new to Enneagram, you're bound to experience many aha moments right here on this channel. Now check out these videos on the screen to keep learning more, and I'll see you in the next video.